no David this week, but I'm still here to talk about Big Brother Over the Top. What a awkward, confusing first week this has been. A lot of confusion on when things were going to happen and how exactly they were gonna go down, but it was a good experiment, and I think we've all figured it out now, and hopefully CBS is fixing some of their bugs, because this cast is so good. This is one of the best casts in years. No offense to Robin Cass and casting. I'm sure she's a lovely person, but her taking a break really seems like it has paid off way to make things a little bit different, CBS. Alex definitely took my spot. That's who I thought took my spot, but when they had her package in the opening last Wednesday, whenever that was, she sent in the same pictures and videos that I did. There was a picture of her in a kigurumi, which I sent in. Mine's a unicorn though. A video of her saying it's game night, which is exactly what I sent in. So I'm already biased and rooting for Alex. I adore her. Even though she's already making different decisions than I would have, I still really like her. So first we saw them moving in. They moved in individually, which was really cool to see live on the feeds. Then we were all excited and not really that shocked that Jason was voted in. Yay. America's already freaking out and siding with him. And we had a very interesting first HOH competition. Okay, so we knew, we had a heads up that everything was going to be a little low budget this season. It was going to have to be smaller scale this season, but I was kind of disappointed the way that the first HOH went down. It was a little blue potion sitting there. The sign said only one can drink. No instruction whatsoever from BB, so we're watching a lot of awkward silences at first. They're waiting for instructions. They're just sitting there. This is the kind of stuff I don't like. I'm actually a fan of production value. I like editing. It makes it entertaining. I know that that's the opposite of what most of you guys say, and you're loving all of this just live feed stuff. I'm having to adjust to it. So this kind of awkward silence totally throws me off. I'm not liking it. They don't know what to do. Finally, Shane jumps up and drinks the liquid, which was cool to see because that means Shane is ready to play. Jason was also talking about jumping in and playing, but he's already played for a season, so he's more apt to do that kind of stuff. So that was the coolest part to see, is that Shane was ready to go. He runs into the DR, and then there's a whole bunch of more silence, awkward silence on the feed, which, like I said, I can't stand. That HOH competition took almost 24 hours, where they waited for a buzzer, a signal, to pass off this bug that they were infected with. So Shane drank it first and he was not eligible to be HOH. He then had to pass the bug along. I didn't love watching that, but I did love watching them have to immediately start strategizing. It was a kick in the pants to get strategy and game talk going. So that was, I guess, the upside of that type of HOH challenge. We clearly start to see the power in the house between Shane and Monty, who are obviously the strong alpha males of the group, but I have to say they're actually gentlemen. They're actually nice guys, which is a breath of fresh air from last season. Woo! So those two rise to the top. They bring in Scott and Cornbread as a little group, but they also bring in some of the girls, Whitney and Alex and Morgan. They all sort of start to talk and decide Jason is their target. No surprise there, Jason is the only vet in the house, so they think, let's get the vet out. I get that, but if you truly watch the show, you know that Jason's really not that good of a player. So he's not like a huge threat, but he does have a fan base, and America has a lot of power in this season. So I get both sides. I just thought it was a easy, cheap first target, which they all kind of admitted eventually anyway. So Jason becomes the target, and they decide and figure out that Monty could be HOH. He'll take this first one and he'll target Jason, which is exactly what happened. What's interesting though, I think, with this cast and how this season is playing out is that, yes, we saw Shane and Monty and that group sort of rise to power, but we saw a good chunk of people seeing that, realizing that, and wanting to fight that. So pretty quickly in this week, we got a divided house, which is so much better to watch than everyone just voting with the house. That's happened so much frequently in the last couple summers that the first half of the season is just the house voting, house voting, house voting. And so to see the house divided pretty quickly got me really excited. And then to top things off, two people on two different sides get a little showmance going. So Shane on this side, Danielle on this side, you guys have a real connection going, right? The fact that they're on two different sides is fun to watch, but it's also super, super dangerous for the rest of the people in the house to see. As Monty and his group had decided, they put Jason up on the block, and they decided to put Danielle up on the block, kind of because she's in with Shane now. They've got this showmance going, but also because they feel like no one wants to vote her out and that Jason would be the clear target and everyone would vote him out. Then Big Brother over the top throws in one of the first twists, which is that we, America, get to vote for a third nominee. Oh my gosh. The power is going to my head already. We, America, voted for Cornbread to be the third nominee, but then we play veto. Now this veto comp was a little better. Again, there's these awkward silences and confusion that I can't stand to watch. It makes me cringe, but that's okay. They had to run around the house finding things that were different, giving them numbers to somehow form a code to then unlock a vault. It was confusing because even if you figured out the numbers, which nobody actually really figured out the numbers, but even if you did, you had to figure out the order, so you'd go back and forth and back and forth. A little conversation between Danielle and Jason, who were on their own because everyone else was working together, led Jason to get all of the numbers, and then he just had it. And he put the numbers in, and he just happened to have them in the right order. Well, he tried a couple times, but it was one of those random lucky comps, really, and it totally worked in Jason's favor. So yay, Jason has power of veto. And now I will say this, had that been on TV edited, people would have cried foul. They would have said, oh my god, production's trying to save Jason. He would have never got it. How did he get it? But we saw it play out live, and we saw that he just randomly got it. So I guess that's the upside to no editing. Jason has the power of veto, and obviously he pulls himself down off of the block, which then allows Monty to put up his backup from the get-go was Chrissy. He kind of put Chrissy and Jason lumped together, that they were basically the same person, and if he couldn't get Jason out, he wanted to get Chrissy out. So he now throws Chrissy up on the block, even though Cornbread really wants Shelby out. He tried to fight for Shelby. They were fighting. She was like cussing at him. Shelby's an interesting one. A lot of people don't like her. She's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. I really like her in her diary rooms. I don't know. I can't figure Shelby out quite yet. So Cornbread loses that fight. Chrissy goes up on the block. So now it is Chrissy, Cornbread, and Danielle are the three on the block. Now America gets another chance to play in this game, because America then gets to vote for who will be evicted. So every week we will vote for who we want to be evicted. Whoever gets the most votes gets one extra vote. That's America's vote, right? So, and then that's also secret, which I love, because everyone else's votes are secret. They don't know who gets America's vote. Which leads me to eviction night, when a hinky vote plays in really well, but we'll get there in a second. We've got these three on the block. Let's go back to this Danielle and Shane showmance that can be so powerful and dangerous. The longer the week goes on, the more concerned Monty and his crew of girls are. They're very concerned about Shane sort of being pulled away by Danielle, being distracted by Danielle. Danielle is a smart cookie. She's a good competitor. So she's already a target, and now she's lined up with one of the strongest guys. This is definitely going to be a power couple. So they're more and more concerned. Then Danielle actually flips the house. The house is ready to vote out Chrissy, but because Danielle is more aligned with Chrissy than Cornbread, she was able to turn the entire house and convince them that cornbread should go instead of Chrissy. You guys, that's pretty impressive in the first week, considering that cornbread was in the strongest alliance from the very first day. Now, I get it. Cornbread said some offensive things. He's snoring loud. She had a lot of ammo to use, but still, I was really, really impressed that come eviction night, Chrissy got 0 votes. And then we come to find out that cornbread would have unanimously been voted out, except that Alex, whom I love, threw us a hinky vote, and she said, time to start some paranoia, I vote for Danielle. So Danielle ends up getting 1 vote. But here's where I love this hinky vote, because I don't always love a hinky vote. I'm not always down for just throwing weirdness in the air, but because America has 1 vote, that makes a hinky vote genius, because now the entire house is like, wait, why did Danielle get 1 vote? Was it America? And now that's in their heads. Oh my God, I love it. I love the paranoia, and I love them freaking out, and I love that they have no idea if it was someone in the house or if it was America. I know not everyone loved that from Alex, but I say hurrah. So on Wednesday night, we actually got a really good, I think it was an hour-long recap of everything that happened over the week, which is great to know that they're gonna do that now, because it was a really confusing week on like, where do I go back and I find this clip of that or whatever. Like the daily recaps were lovely, but some of it is not like video on demand. Some of it you have to go back into the live feed flashback feature. I mean, it's fine, but it's not that easy. It's easier to click on a VOD. So I question some of the stuff that CBS is doing. I also didn't like that this live eviction episode, it really had no Julie. Like they said Julie will be there, but she was pre-taped, and there were still these like awkward silences and waiting for production to announce something over the intercom. I feel like if you can't get Julie there, which I understand, she's got other things going on and she's probably expensive, but if you can't get her there live, there has got to be a host you can afford to get there, like Jeff or somebody. I'll nominate myself, obviously, but there should be a host there leading that episode. That is probably my biggest complaint and concern, and think that CBS could fix that issue. You guys need producers who have produced live before. It's not quite translating to that. But I'll tell you what is translating and what I love is the live diary rooms. That is the best thing that this season has to offer, and it's so much fun to watch them walk in, and those awkward silences aren't awkward. Those silences are fine. They walk in and they'll get the hang of how diary rooms work, and there'll be less silences, and they'll jump right into those questions that they read off of a little sign, and then they talk to us and they answer them, and it's really a great opportunity for us to actually know what they're thinking, because there is no editing. This is the one time that editing is not needed, and I love it, and thank you, Big Brother. So on Wednesday night, after that almost hour-long recap, we get ready for the HOH. They were told to get into athletic gear, and they go out for basically an endurance comp, but it was also a mental strength comp, because you have to hold this stick, really, really long stick, to keep this crown up on a picture of their head. And it took, I believe, 2.5 hours, if I remember correctly. Here's my biggest question. How the heck did Justin last so long? He literally was fidgeting and dancing the whole time. I don't think the guy can stand still, which is really entertaining for live feeds, but for that comp, like, what was he doing? But he lasted really, really long. It came down to Neely and Alex, which was awesome because they're on 2 different sides of the house, and I was torn because I was rooting for both. I was like excited if either one would win. I wanted Neely to win at 1 minute, then I wanted Alex, and I was back and forth, and I was back and forth, and ultimately Alex wins. I'm excited that Alex won because I like her, and she's willing to make big moves, but her big moves are big. She immediately is gonna go after Danielle. She's been talking about it all week, about breaking up Danielle and Shane. She recognizes that Danielle's a threat, and I get that. Danielle is a threat, and Danielle with Shane is a huge threat, but that is a big move to make on week 2, and that is going to bite Alex in the butt later on. This will make Alex a threat. This is gonna make America not like Alex, which is dangerous in this game. This is really gonna rock the boat, but that's exciting for us to watch. And I'm glad that I like so many people in the house that it doesn't really bother me, right? So I like Alex, but she's not gonna be a favorite for long, and I get that, and that's okay because there's plenty of other people in the house that I like. So I'm excited about all of this and can't wait to watch all of this play out. So here we go. We have more things to vote on this week. Oh my God. The power is amazing, you guys. This is so much power they're giving us. Okay, so first off, we have to vote for a care package. Like over the summer, these care packages are going to be different every week, and whoever wins it this week is not going to be eligible for the rest of the season unless we get to a point where they've all gotten a care package, then they'll start over. And this week's care package is to give someone the ability to save a friend. So whoever we give this to, they don't get safety, but they'll give it to someone who they want to be safe. So here's my thinking, and we have to figure this out together, you guys. We don't want to give this to someone we love who we think is going to need safety down the road in a few weeks, but we do, don't we, want to give this to someone on the opposite side of the house, right? Alex has the power, and we know who she's targeting. So I feel like we give this care package to someone on Danielle's side of the house, right? But we don't give it to Danielle because then she's definitely not safe. And we don't give it to like Jason if we want him to definitely have safety down the road. We need to give it to someone who's friends with them, right? So I immediately am thinking Chrissy because I think Chrissy's just kind of middle of the road player. Could care if she stays or goes. I'm not really concerned too much with her, but she's loyal and friends with Danielle and Jason and Neely and the people who I am sort of drawn to on that side of the house. So that's what I'm thinking, but I need to know what you guys are thinking, and we got to figure this out together and not screw this up, America. Then also this week we're gonna vote for have-nots, and then it'll start over again and we'll vote for our nominee and we'll vote for eviction. And you guys, we have so much power and I love it. Let's think about it and not screw this up. So what are you guys thinking? What do you guys think of this cast? What do you guys think of this new format of Over the Top? It's different, it's got good twists, and obviously we have a lot of power. And tell me what you are thinking about with our power. Like, who are you voting for what? Tell me who you're rooting for if you already are like hitching your wagon to one side of the house, or if you're more flexible like I am. Oh my gosh, so much to talk about, and hopefully David will be back next week. I will definitely be back next week, so I will see you then.